maybe. But either way, it worked. Then let me fix my mic on my side, and then yeah.
Hello, YouTube. We are live, so I need to move you up here so that keeps Croncy's camera on. Because every time I look at it over there, it seems to turn Croncy's camera off.
Classic.
Yeah. There we go. So that should make it work. All right, I am going to quickly use the restroom. I know we're running a tiny bit late. I'll quickly use the restroom real fast, and then we'll intro. All right, BRB.
Chat, who's watching Enter Atmosphere next year? Next week. No, next year. Next week. It's going to be Australia's biggest bar citizen ever.
Oy.
Over 500 people, which is insane.
Damn. That's exciting.
It's going to be nutty.
All right, you ready for intros?
My bosses who have to work during it.
Yeah, that's funny. And you don't?
Damn. Well, sort of. I'll be commentating and stuff, but it's not really work.
Yeah. All right, put intro up. Is it mine?
Well, I wasn't on the podcast last week, so I guess it's mine.
Yeah, I think you should take it. I'll give you the countdown. Yep. 22 seconds. Ten.
7 Star Citizens, and welcome back to Answer the Call, your weekly call-in show and podcast about anything and everything Star Citizen. I am joined, as always, by SaltEMike. How are we doing, Mike?
Good. Things that I have not been playing much Star Citizen this week at all. I have been playing tons and tons of Foxhole.
Yeah, I noticed you playing that the other day.
I am addicted.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's so good. Which actually, I think I'm still in the Foxhole directory, so let me change that.
If I wasn't playing so much Satisfactory right now, I would probably install it with Foxhole for the first time. There's so many times I've been wanting to play it. The reason I'm playing Satisfactory, one of my friends, every now and then when I hang out with him, he's playing this gacha game. I think it's Wuthering Waves.
Yep.
And they added in like a little factory sim thing. And every time he was playing, I was like, oh man, I really want to play Satisfactory again. I haven't played since 2022. And so I finally reinstalled it this week, and I've put, I think, 40 hours in this week alone.
I believe it. And it's one of those things that you could like leave and come back to. And so like with
a
newborn, it's kind of easy, right?
Yes, yeah.
Any
game where right now I can essentially pause and run away or whatever, yeah, cool.
That's sort of similar with Foxhole, is like not the same, but a little bit different. Is if you only have half an hour, you could just do a quick run, like real fast. Like, all right, I'm going to move this stuff from here to over there, and that will help my group that's playing. And then you just log off. And it, like for a Star Citizen podcast, you can't do that. Period. Like, I can reload my gun in that period of time, and that's basically it. Right? I could put a few boxes on my ship that I'm gonna lose if I store it or something. So yeah, it was like quite different. And but just outside of that, something I've been doing a lot lately that I I'm like starting to make more official because I'm making YouTube videos of it, is just making videos of what Star Citizen can learn from other games. So I made a second video about EVE Online and the ships having bonuses and stuff. And we'll talk a little bit about that today because I love the Moth, and we're going to talk a lot about the Moth today. But their description of the Moth, I just cringe and I hate it. And I'm just like, man, you guys are so close, but you're so far. You're so far from like the end of what the game needs to look like. Everything that they're communicating is like, this game's gonna die so fast because they're just so clueless when it comes to this stuff, I feel like. But yeah, my opinion, obviously, but that's what we do here is we share our opinions.
Yep. That's the point.
Yeah. So what do you want to jump into first? If you're ready to jump into anything.
The Moth, I guess. Although because I wasn't here last week, there's one thing I want to touch on, which is, Mike, do you remember the bet that we made?
Yes, nobody's won it yet, but it looks like I'm going to win.
No, but it's looking like you might win.
Yeah.
I'm getting very, very concerned. In a good way. We all win in one way.
Exactly.
The crafting might come out in 4.7, but
if you have a stupid character, it's okay. Because we have crafting.
We're having fun.
Yeah. It's okay because we have crafting.
Yeah. But yeah, so the Moth.
Yes.
They've been teasing this for like 6 months, it feels like.
Yeah.
Finally here, as part of this update.
Ooh,
it is the multi-operator something harvester. But I think they did a good job with the acronym because like one of the big things about the mole is I really liked how they did that. It is a not reskinned, it is a like
reimagined maybe
mole. Yeah. And it's your medium salvager. 200 and something cargo. It's
almost 300, 288.
Yep. Like most recent ships, it in a lot of ways is like cool. You've learned from how players actually play the game. Sweet. And
learn from all your mistakes with the mole. Well, almost all of them. We'll go over some of that. But yeah,
and yeah, looks
awesome.
good. Looks good. I like it a lot. It is bugged at the moment, unfortunately. So it's
every
actually not a good salvager at all.
Yeah, every aspect of it is bugged. The what is it? The buffer is half of what it should be. The RMC is a decimal point off, so you collect significant, like almost no RMC. And the big thing about this is our first salvage ship with 3 RMC lasers. So this is going to be an RMC beast, right? And then on top of it, if you want to go for CM, you still have 288 SCU of cargo, so it's a beast at that too. And then it could carry any cargo that it wants. So it's like a better version of a raft, also without a dedicated tractor beam.
I don't think so. My thing is, I don't think it's a better version of the raft because it's a lot harder to mess around with the cargo.
Yeah.
But the fact that it has the cargo capabilities, which every salvager should, because part of doing salvage is, oh, hey, we just found 16 SCU of some like decent material.
Exactly.
In the ship, right?
That's why it's a better version, I feel like, is because it's 2 ships in one. It's a raft, but it's also a salvager.
Yeah, it's a much better all-round, well, not all-rounder, but it's a much more utilitarian ship, I guess.
Yeah, utilitarian's a good way. So I don't know what the other bug was, but there's another one. I like the boxes weren't loading, or you can only load 8 SCU boxes. So if you want to do the initial salvage mission for 1 SCU of RMC or whatever, you have to get 8 RMC in order to complete that one. So those are the 3 like major issues with the ship. They're aware of all of them. I can bring up the IC report that shows they're aware of it. Just believe me, it's there. So that's fine. So let's just talk about what we think of the ship outside of the bugs. This is the best salvager by far, in my opinion. It's not even close. Not even close. They said it's got the size 2 lasers, which I believe are the same lasers as the Reclaimer.
Yep.
You have 3 of them. It basically has the same amount of functional SCU as the Reclaimer, but you just don't have as big of a buffer. That's like the only downside of it, because it flies better. It's
Mhm.
not as clunky. You can actually remove the cargo. There's like almost nothing bad about it. The only bad thing is the
Yeah.
cargo grid in the back, in my opinion. Once they
Yeah,
fix the
because I was gonna
moths.
say the cargo grid at the bottom, I love that. The I think it's the part where the RMC actually like comes out of, right?
Have you tried to put 8 SCU containers on it?
No, I have not
You
actually messed
won't
around
love
with it
it.
at all. But I just
You will
love
not
the
love it.
oh, sick,
It's
awesome.
horrible.
Well, I like the design of it itself. And makes me want the mold to just be doing that instead of having the 8 bag canisters. I just would rather have like there be cargo appearing on this like little spot in the bottom. Um, just sort of like suits it better, I guess.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, I love the idea of it. Because what
Mm.
I look at that as is um hopefully while salvaging, you're also going to salvage components. What a great place to put
Yeah.
components. Because that's
Yep.
where so the issue with it is it's the same as the Star Lancer. It's
Hmm.
you have this much room at the top and the
Yeah.
sides.
Okay.
So 8 SUs are like you have to be like microscopic perfect to get them
Yeah.
in.
Yep.
But if you're doing components, you don't have to be. So that's really great.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's like my one knock on the changes that they made. The other
Okay.
thing that I want to talk about is at the very beginning, they talk about this being a thing. This is not a thing in
Yeah.
this
No.
game.
Yeah, there was like they're like, oh, you get like such a wider range of your arms and stuff, and so people can like do different rocks, but no one ever does.
Because you
Everyone
can't.
like you're just doing all at the front,
Yeah.
you know. Like especially with mining, where like you will usually need all 3 lasers to crack it initially. It's then just easier to then get everyone to extract from those like piles of rocks.
I'm almost convinced that this is fake and that these two rocks were put closer together by them to make it look this way. I almost believe it. It probably isn't. They probably found two rocks close together. This is a very rare scenario, number one, with
Hmm.
asteroids. Number two, the likelihood of these two rocks being worth mining next to each other is next to impossible. Number
Yep.
three, the effective distance of these lasers, you're not going to be in the optimal range, so you probably won't even
Yep.
be able to break them, right? So, and
Yep.
then go on the planet's surface, that gets even worse because the rocks are bigger, which is also counterintuitive. Don't you think asteroids should be bigger, by the way? Just a like side note.
Probably.
And they're not, so that's very weird.
Yeah.
And then the same thing with salvage is, can your tractor beam reach the other pieces of salvage to bring it to you? Probably. So that's where the moth
Mm.
is like better. But they talked about like how great the mole was, and it was like, dude, you have no idea. You do not know anything about the game you're making, and
I mean,
it's so annoying.
the interesting thing is like what they got wrong about the mole still is kind of correct for the moth.
Yep.
Like it is more likely that you will use the moth ones to get a couple of pieces that are like a little bit further away from each
Yeah.
other. Um,
Last
so,
thing, and
so it's like
this is a
yeah.
question for the community because I have
Mhm.
not, and most people don't when they are in the mole. I mole mined yesterday, but we all mine the same rock. Do you remember the bug where you were looking at two different rocks and everyone's HUDs got screwed up and nobody knew
Yeah,
who
yeah.
was? So is that still a problem? That's my question to the community. Is that still an issue?
Mm.
Are they even aware of that? I mean, I know Torsten probably is. Is John Crew?
Mhm.
Probably not. So because that's like a minor thing. And again, nobody uses it, so nobody's going to complain about it. Is that going to
Yeah.
be an issue with the moth? No, probably not, because you don't have a HUD with it. So like the moth is better,
Yeah.
but they talk about the mole with all these things, and it's like, guys, the mole's really bad. Like
Mhm.
it's really good because there's no other option, but the mole is really bad and there's a lot of issues
Yeah.
with it. And they talked about just how great and successful it was. It just looks cool, guys, and it just has
Mhm.
more cargo. And that's a lot of what I spoke about in that, like what Eve should learn, what Star Citizen should learn from Eve is like the ship that we're looking at on the screen. The only reason we all use it is because it has more cargo, and
Yeah.
also because it can like break bigger rocks. But
Mhm.
that's about it. Like there's better, yeah, there's more to it than that. So sorry, mini rant, but like the moth is just generally better because the cargo is more than the smaller ships and
Mhm.
actually interactable, where the Reclaimer would be the best if the cargo was something you could interact with
Yeah.
because it just has
Yep.
more. So they need more than just more cargo. But yeah,
Mhm.
rant over. The Moth is amazing if they fix the bugs, and I love it, and I
Yeah.
will use the hell out of it. It is so cool. I don't want to be negative because I absolutely love so much of the things they did. And in this
Mhm.
video, they mentioned eventually going back to the mole and taking
Yeah.
a lot of this and putting it there. So hopefully they address
Yeah.
those issues with it, and that would be like, oh,
Yeah. So
beautiful.
there's a lot of parts of the mole that are like, even though the mole came out in like 2021, which like a lot of ships that came out in that era are like still like okay
Yeah.
in how they handle and stuff. There's like a lot of issues with the mole, like the interior that's like really boring compared to like the raft.
Yep.
That I really want them to fix up. And then like obviously the actual issues, like
Yeah.
the gameplay issues with the mole that need to be fixed. But look, the mole is my favorite ship in the game. More variants of the mole makes me happy. And I think they did a good job here. So
Yeah. It's awesome. Other thing that we just didn't say yet
Mhm.
about this,
The grabby hands.
not necessarily the grabby hands. Like, I don't care about that. It is cool looking, but I'm
Yeah.
talking about the fact that the pilot controls these.
Yeah. So
Not
unlike the
the
mole, where the
co-pilot.
pilot does nothing for like 20 seconds,
Yep.
30 seconds, a minute, whatever, unless they run down and use the front laser, which is what usually happens. Yeah, the pilot can actually do stuff.
So this is
Cool.
again. In the video they talked about how the Reclaimer is harder to solo because it needs more people or whatever, and you got to like move around. Yes, they also said this will be difficult to solo, but
Yeah.
construction materials is something that if it goes to what they said they were doing, it's essentially mining spaceships, and we're going to get material and all that good stuff.
Yep.
So the pilot's going to be very valuable here, and this is going to become a super efficient solo ship as well, it looks like.
Yep.
And yeah, outside of that, I think the Reclaimer is easier to crew than this will be if you want to crew it, because you have 3 lasers here. You have to manage cargo more because you have a smaller buffer. So I think this will be harder to crew, but also easier to solo. So it's it's kind of more of a solo ship. We'll see. But I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Price is crazy, but that's not a surprise there. Just because the mole is about the same price, 315.
Yeah, mole is
like
like yeah. I think mole's like was 400 or 350, something like that.
Can we talk about this?
All of these medium industrials are so expensive. So I love what they did with the paints.
Metallic Argo paint.
This yeah, it's dope as hell.
Sick.
But I hate the fact that the back of it is just like boring in that one.
Don't talk about it. This is what I went with.
You gave me the metallic and then you make it boring. Oh,
don't talk about boring. This is my skin on the Moth right now.
You're so boring.
I know. I am. And I'm so happy with it. It's okay.
Even the base paint. I'm a huge fan of the base paint. Having
Base
that
paint's
like
okay.
teal at the back and stuff is really nice.
Where's the
The
prices?
caramel paint that came with it does not look that great.
No.
Honestly.
Okay.
Nah, I don't know. It just looks. It doesn't look as pink as it should. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like sometimes
it feels
the
like there's
pictures
something
look
wrong
better.
with the pearlescence of it.
Got it. I like this one, the white with the orange in the back.
Yeah. It's
I think that looks really cool too. If you like a lighter color, I think that looks sweet. The Dolomite paint. So I think they did a really good job with these paints. Lots of people complained about the fact that you could not apply mole paints to this.
Yeah.
Here's my response to that. They have to make money. So I don't see a problem with saying the Moth has exclusive paints. But what people complained about more so is I would be willing to buy a Moth paint, but I really like the mole paint that I have, and that mole paint is not available for the Moth.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, it's okay, I'll give you more money, but
I
don't have the
paint that I
options
want.
here. Yeah, like give me those options. Like,
sure.
Some people are complaining that, hey, I already spent money on a paint that looks similar. I should be able to apply it. I get your point there. I think CIG should monetize paints heavily, so I have no problem with them separating them. But I do see the point of like, well, at least offer me what the mole had, and they didn't do that.
Yeah.
So I get what they're coming from with that one. Yeah, same with the Hermes and Apollo. No big deal if you want to split them, just offer the same ones. But the problem with the Apollo is it's a medical ship. Should you be able to put a medical paint on a Hermes and pretend? I think
Geneva Convention,
sandbox-wise,
probably not, but I don't think the Geneva
Yeah.
Convention exists in the 2900s.
maybe it does. Something like it. So
Yeah.
yeah, lower people will have to check on that one for us. So yeah, I don't know. That's the Hermes.
Yeah, are you still not allowed to put a red cross on anything in the 2900s if you're not
Probably.
medical?
Probably.
Yep.
But outside of that, like other paints should be fine. Yeah. Anything
and
else you
also
want to say?
the argument of like they can't do it because it's a different hull is not much of an argument, because like, yeah, that means they can't just port it over in like a day. Like,
Yeah.
they could just
They could do it.
like they could just make the paints, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it'll get plenty more
Exactly.
paints in the future anyway.
Like somebody was
What
just
I would
like, I
like to
want a
see-
red moth. And I was like,
Yeah.
fair.
What I would like to see that would kind of work for that sort of thing as well is like, give me like faction specific paints, or like manufacturer specific paints, where it's like I can buy an Argo red paint that can apply to like any Argo ship, you know?
Yeah.
That sort of thing would be an interesting way to do that, I think.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. I mean, honestly, I think the way they're doing it is the best, is just limit it to each individual ship because they make more money.
Yeah.
And I want them to make money. Don't, like, people think I don't want them to make money. I want them to make lots and lots of money. I just don't want them to make money selling spaceships anymore, because it's ruining the game, or has already ruined the game. Roadmap next?
Yeah, so
Or do we want to talk about the mining missions? Probably mining and salvage missions before roadmap. Just like current versus future.
It's connected to it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that. You just finished mining. Did you actually try and turn in?
No, the second. Okay, for anyone who was not watching just before the pod started, I was this close to finishing one of the like introductory mining missions, and then Mike told me I have to put them on freight elevators one at a time, which probably would have taken me like 30 minutes.
Yep.
That's not good. Don't have that be a thing.
Yeah, they're aware of it, but look, Croncy, ready? Look. That's what you have to do. Imagine having to do this for the higher level missions. Look at the top one.
But also that's
15
looks
average
stupid.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
Like,
this is what you have to do. And the crazy thing is you have to drop it and other people could just pick it up.
Oh, yeah.
Other people could just pick it up. Now you don't
have
have to do this, because you could put it in like a 1/8 SCU container, but they're like, there's like bugs with them or something.
Right.
Because like all they had to do, you really like, guys, all they had to do was put a terminal next to the freight elevator.
Yeah, like the personal cargo terminal.
All they had to do was
Like
put a
a
personal
personal
cargo
inventory
terminal.
Yeah.
Nobody did it. Nobody did it. It's not anywhere in the location. Nobody did it. Why? I don't know.
It's so stupid. Yeah, clutcher terminal. Why can't we use the clutcher terminal where it just hands in? Just press button.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I think it's very frustrating. But at this point, we either have to accept it or like quit. Those are your two choices right now. You have to accept.
Well, I'm just not going to do these missions, and then I would
am I.
hope other people would be the same. And then when the data comes up that people didn't do these missions, you know.
This also goes with the MOTH. I think we should boycott buying the MOTH. I bought it. I shouldn't have, because I didn't realize that it was bugged as bad as it was until after I got it, like most people. But I think we should literally be boycotting these missions, boycotting the MOTH. If you feel this way, I don't necessarily feel this way. The more I think about it, because I really feel strongly that the quicker they put this stuff out into live, and the game literally doesn't matter, the faster we'll get a good game. So they see this problem. Now they're forced to fix it.
Also, is this an issue that just gets solved with the new inventory system, which we'll also touch on soon?
Uh, Not from what again, you don't have a personal terminal,
Because
so how?
yeah, but you can put cargo onto you can put anything from your inventory onto a cargo grid using the new inventory system.
As somebody who didn't get to test it very much,
Neither did I, but this is what I've. This is
you'll have to tell me.
I've watched a couple of videos. I've watched a couple of videos. Apparently, yeah, anything in your inventory you can basically drag onto the cargo grid through the inventory system, and
And
it'll just do it.
it just plops on there.
Yes.
In
So
a
that
gem
theoretically
situation,
should work.
can you put stacks? No, probably not, right? Okay. That's interesting. But yeah, potentially.
So
This fixes
terrible
it,
right now could be fixed with the new inventory system, possibly.
which is why they don't care, and that's fine. So
Maybe, yeah.
it stays with the point that I was trying to make, is that
Yeah.
we're currently playing in alpha. It is 14 years into the alpha, which is completely unacceptable at this point. But if they're going to push towards a 1.0 actual not alpha release, less PTU time, more because guys, live is the PTU. Why there's no need for Evo anymore. There's no need for PTU. That is for stability. Like, let's just make sure it's stable enough. Once it's stable enough, go to live, and who cares? That's essentially what they're doing right now. And we should think less of the live experience, because they certainly are, and it doesn't look like they're going to change. So you either accept it or you don't. I have now accepted that the Moth is going to come in as a disaster. We're going to tell them that it's a disaster. They're going to fix it. These missions are going to have these problems. They're going to we're going to tell them that there are these problems, and they're going to fix it. And if it was just PTU, the stuff sits there in PTU forever. It never gets fixed. It eventually comes to live. We tell them that there's these problems, and then they eventually fix it. So why not just do it faster? And it seems like that's what we're getting. So I hate it that we're working for free and telling them what they should have known when they paper napkin this stuff, but it is what it is. So I just accept it at this point. Like, yes, it sucks that the Moth doesn't work. Yes, it sucks that we have to do this, but in a month it's going to work. So who cares? And then a month after that, it's going to break.
Is the thing. In a month, it better work.
Yes, but it typically has in the last year.
Yeah.
So it's like, who cares? None of the things that we're doing now matters. Does the fact that you completed the mission or didn't complete the mission matter? No, not at all. Right? So, I mean, and that's what I want to talk about, these missions. Do you like them?
I like the idea of them.
I like the idea of them as well.
Yeah. I don't think they get particularly complex at the higher levels. That's what I would like to see. Right? Is
okay,
like,
perfect. Because I disagree.
Okay. Yeah, but I would like to see them get like a lot more complex as you get into these later levels, where it's like maybe
describe complexity. That maybe before I disagree.
So in this instance, in this context, it would be going to multiple locations, having multiple different types of barriers. So like combat barriers or loot barriers, that sort of thing. And then it being like, a just kind of a bigger task, right? Because forever we've had missions that are just eliminate all, or go press a button on dead body, and like that's it. So the complexity comes in just like having more tasks and having a bit of a difference between each mission.
Got it. I still disagree. I think the biggest thing that us as Star Citizen fans have like stuck ourselves into is this Chris Roberts mentality of things need to be very tactile and complex and unique from other games, and wow, clicking on a rock and mining it is so boring, and you know, the way Star Citizen does it is so cool. True, by the way, the tactile nature of the extracting of stuff is quite cool, but like most quests in MMOs are incredibly boring, but because what you're doing is meaningful, they're not as boring, right? So for me, it's not that I disagree necessarily. It's more along the lines of, is what I think would make these feel good is the fact that they reward something other than money, or money actually mattering
Sure.
more, something like that.
I
Where
guess
that's the
the,
complexity
the
I'd want to see is in the reward,
yeah
is why I'm doing it. The EVE
yeah the
Online LP
complexity
thing.
yeah the complexity that I'm talking about is specifically like in this particular instance, why am I doing this mission over just mining for myself?
No reason at
Right?
all. Zero reason.
Then then I don't want to do it.
Pointless bar goes up.
Right?
That same. I don't want to do it right
Yeah.
now. We do know that they want to give reputation-based rewards at some point.
Mhm.
These missions are perfectly complex for that. You know, you could just give a little bit more variety here and there. That's probably what you mean by
Mhm.
depth or complexity. Just give me a
Yeah,
little bit more. I feel like I'm doing the same mission over and over again. That's fine.
yeah,
To give a little bit more than that, like, hey, go salvage something else or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, agreed there. But yeah, if the reward was worth grinding for, that's your depth in the game already. Because you could go
yeah, yeah,
and do mining missions to get rep for a really sick mining attachment to your laser, or a sick mining laser,
Mhm.
or bags that have better capacity for certain types of ore, whatever, right? Like the world's
yeah,
your oyster there. Same with salvage, same with cargo hauling. That's the reason we're doing the missions. Then all
Mhm.
of a sudden, these kind of mindless missions that we've been doing for years are still mindless, but the level of fun goes way up,
Mhm.
way up. And then, yeah, so like that's why that's all I'm looking for these. So to me, they're like
Yeah.
nearly perfect. They just need to add that wrinkle to the game, which they talked about in 2023. They haven't talked about it since. Are they still doing that? That honestly, there's an SCL this week. I should have asked that question. I think it did get asked. It was like number 3 or 4, and I upvoted
Mhm.
it. Hopefully they respond to that. That's just a thing of note. If you guys are interested in these missions, or hearing more about them, or getting feedback on them, giving feedback on them, or hearing about what they want to do,
Yeah.
SCL next week about basically this. Almost all the questions are about crafting, and they said don't ask about future stuff. So you kind of have
Yeah.
to ask about these missions, guys, and that's the main thing I would ask is like, bro, this is boring. This sucks. What do we do?
Mhm.
What are you planning on doing? Are they going to be less boring, and why? There you go.
Yep.
Sorry, I could tell that I'm like ranting, talking too much, so I'll try and calm down. But
You're
it's like
not.
reputation based rewards. How excited were you when you saw the little pins for the companies at SitCon 2023 for the cargo
Yeah,
company?
yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Like
it was
just
sick.
even little shit like that is
Mhm.
sweet.
I will say I'm glad that like these are I would call these like regular missions, right? Like these are like your daily
Yeah.
go do whatever missions. The fact that they are voiced, at least when you accept the mission and stuff, and when you abandon the mission, cool, right? Because they've
Didn't even know
most
that.
recently only been doing those for those. They've only been doing them for like events
Mhm.
or like big special locations, like uh, Onyx facilities and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was nice to like have a guy from Covalex talk to me or whatever and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna be your handler for this," and blah blah blah. And then when I abandoned the mission, he actually had this really sassy thing where he was like, companies base their reputation on being able to deliver. It's like, all right, mate, I
Yeah, but
abandoned it because the mission wasn't working. Calm down.
that's awesome because like just going
Yeah.
based off what I said, that means that they have like all the pieces in place.
Mm.
Just got to do the reward. Just got to kill it on the
Yeah, yeah.
reward, and we're good.
Yep.
They got
Yep.
the lore of the company, like all that kind of stuff there. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's right there. It's just how long will it take for them to get really solid rep in the game?
Yep.
Seems like a pretty difficult thing, complicated to do. And we'll see.
Mhm.
Want to go to the roadmap?
Yep. Let's do it.
Sweet. All right. Obviously they started with the 4.6 stuff. Talked about,
Yep.
the resource gathering stuff that we just talked about, adding the things from Alliance Aid or cleaning the air. And then we go 4.7, where we
Yeah.
hear what a new faction is, the Claw Salamanders, and they gave us a an image for them, which basically look like Tusken Raiders from Star Wars. Excuse me.
Yeah,
I gotta find
they've
the image, which might go over us here. Yeah,
oh yeah, the
that's
left
okay.
the left one definitely reminds me of Tusken Raiders.
I'll bring
I
up the
love the
images
little
for us.
mask that two of them have. It's got like this white, it's almost like ghostish mask, which is kind of cool. Notably as well, in an ice area, like in a snowy ice area.
Oh,
Now that could just be whatever, right?
their
It could just be
clothing looks
random set
very
dressing
warm.
for the artwork. That's what I'm saying, right?
Did not
The
notice
guy on
this.
the left is wearing like almost snowshoes, it looks like. So
Yeah.
it could be nothing, could be reading into it, but maybe there's something to that. But if I was to actually guess,
Yeah.
these are going to be the people that we fight at Rockbreaker.
Interesting, because it doesn't. You're probably right, but it doesn't feel like these are space suits.
The left guy's super like survivally, yeah, like survivally, like
100%.
middle of the snow stuff. So he's even got a bedroll on his back. It looks like, right? So
So somebody in chat says Nyx 3 eventually. Is that an icy planet on Nyx? I don't know.
Nyx 1 is now going to be anything.
Beautiful.
And,
Yeah.
what are the other two?
Livable.
Planets?
So it could be, yeah, Nyx planets. But they could also be at the Rockbreaker facilities, both of them. You know, they could be in both places.
They could not be
obviously.
exclusive.
Yeah,
and
so
and I feel like because
us.
because they're in 4.7, and based on what was said during SEO last week, where it like sounds like probably we'll see Rockbreaker. If not 4.7, we'll see it like right after.
Part of the 4.7 cycle, perhaps, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Yeah.
It could be like the mid-cycle patch that we just had.
Yeah.
So
yeah, do the planets have moons? I don't know. I don't know anything about Nyx lore.
It's because there's not much to it. All of the Nyx lore is
changed.
It was a military system. Well, it's not even that it's changed. It was very small. It was a military system, and then when the military didn't care anymore, the whatever the name of the people of Levski chose Nyx as like their place to hang out because it was a mostly ignored system, and that's kind of it. There's not much to it.
Chat saying Nyx 3 is an ice giant.
Hell yeah! So there you go. That would make sense then.
Yeah. Did not notice it. Good catch. Good catch. Never looked at the background. All I did was look at the middle guy and went, we've seen armor that looks like this before. This is the guys in the 890 jump missions.
A little bit. Almost.
We'll get more to that when we get to light armor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit of similarity. One heavy armor was the next one. And we have seen this before.
I don't recall this one.
It was Citizen Con 2024.
Oh, was this like one of the like 4 armors?
Valacar fight.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, this was the heavy armor or the tank, I think, that they showed. It was similar to this at least. It has changed a bit, but I recall the helmet looking very, very similar. And then the light armor is like, wait a second, we have this already. What? I am so confused. We already have this, but I guess
we just never wore it, right? It's not armor we could ever have.
No, Croncy. Now you can buy it.
Well,
I think I have a funny feeling, and I do think the chest is a little different, but the helmet is identical to like Clash or whatever it was called.
Yeah. Actually, I don't think it's identical. It's got like a weird the bit in the middle where the mouth is looks a little different. It looks a bit more like Centipede or something.
Of this light armor. There you go. So that I'll look back at it, but
implementing a rework of a light combat armor in the persistent universe. Yeah.
There you go.
So there you go.
Did not catch that one either. No. Shows how much I cared. I saw the visual and was like, we already have this. Who cares? So yeah, there you go. For once, the progress tracker is relevant.
Yeah, they've updated it. Like last year, the progress tracker was irrelevant. They didn't do anything to it really. This is the second time this year they've talked about the progress tracker, so they're clearly using that again as like a good communication tool of what's going on.
The reason it's a good communication tool is because we know their schedule. Every 2 months is when they want to release a patch.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
you see the dates that are here, you can kind of coincide them with a patch release. Now, that doesn't mean that crafting will finish on March 27th. We know it won't,
Yeah.
because crafting currently is only little stuff. They want us to be able to craft
Yeah.
bases and ships, and so it will obviously continue.
Yeah. As well
But-
as always, the way the progress tracker worked is that this is just the currently scheduled work. It is not like that work does not imply a finish. It just means like this is the project we're working on at the moment.
Always. But in this case, you're kind of like, well, we know they want to finish work. They want to finish some of the work for crafting and inventory for 4.7.
Yeah.
And you're like, and it literally says crafting T0, which is what we're getting in 4.7. So you're like, this is a release date. Okay. You can kind of go, all right, this is a release date. So the progress tracker gets a little bit more functional. Then you scroll down to the vehicle command module, which is for the Drake Ironclad Caterpillar and something else, I think, at some point. That says May 29th. So you're kind of like, well, that's Invictus, and the Ironclad is probably coming out Invictus.
Invictus is like June, right, or something. So
yeah. So you're like,
right after
okay, that makes sense. And then you're like, well, whoa, FPS radar and scanning at Invictus, because you see this date, and you're like, well, maybe not. This is just extended to when they know that they're going to work on it. You don't know. So you can't use it entirely, but for ships, you kind of can.
I mean, but also you still kind of can with this as well, because they're doing this 2-month cycle.
Yeah.
2 months after March is May. You would expect there to be a feature that is not just the command module to come out in whatever that patch is. FPS radar and scanning, that would make sense.
They've been working on it forever.
2-3 years ago.
Yeah. They've been working on it forever, so it's possible. And then instancing, you're like, 2 months later, 4.9, there's your instancing. And you're like, okay, that's when we'll see that. Interesting. And then the ship hangar services goes until May 29th, which is a little one that you're like, okay, does that mean we get that big event mission at the end? Do you remember what it was called, with the big cap ship gun that will prevent cap ships?
I don't think we get that May 29th.
Agreed.
I
think this comes before that. They test it out, we try it, we give feedback on it, and then it's ready. So that's where it's like, and this is for people who are like, I want there to be an economy in the game. Economy doesn't always mean the value of items monetarily for in-game currency. This is the value of Quantanium and RMC and whatever makes ammunition. That all of a sudden creates this like supply and demand situation in the game of like, all right, I need to go and get these things, supply my big ships so I can repair my mining ships when I break things or whatever, and I don't have to go back to a station. I can do everything within my ships. And as somebody who did a huge Idris mining op yesterday that was super duper fun, I mean, this would just step that level up incredibly. It would be amazing. So yeah, super, like, out of everything here, I am most excited for this because it's the beginning of economic sandboxy things in the game, which I think is very, very cool. Is there something that you are more excited for? I'm assuming crafting. Obviously, that's a big part of economy as well.
Of course, it's crafting.
I just already played it, so it's like,
Mark's already done with it. Doesn't want crafting anymore.
Oh, I'm not done with it. It's just like of the things that I haven't tried yet, this is the one that I would love to see how it feels. I feel like I would really enjoy it.
I also feel like the landing service is the easiest one to imagine in the game right now, right? Because it doesn't fundamentally change how you play. It just makes this like one loop way more convenient. Of like group gameplay. So
it's it allows you to encompass more things with parts of the game that you own and you control. It's less interacting with NPC-based space stations and stuff, and it's you doing it yourself. Self-sufficiency. That's what I was looking for. It allows you to be more self-sufficient, which is absolutely awesome.
Only other thing I'll say on the roadmap is like still notably no planets coming
Mm.
soon, right? Like,
Planet Tech V5. Yeah, what's up?
yeah, and that's something I'd really like to see because Nyx is like the bits of Nyx we have are cool, but it still feels really empty, and
Yep.
it feels more like I'm jumping into a room than I am jumping into a system.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm dying
so
for the like I care less about them. We have so many planets. I care so much more for the distribution of like minables, salvage,
mhm,
all that stuff, and all that
yep,
comes with eventually. It may not come with the first release of Genesis and
mhm,
all the Planet Tech V5 stuff, but
yep,
that's the one that I'm like itching to see what it's like because in the
yep,
crafting playtest that was the negative part of it. It was the
yeah, yeah,
positive was that material quality was there and it was like, wow, jackpot, this is super cool. The negative
mhm,
was it was just felt so random, and the idea of it being less random sounds so exciting to me.
yeah, fair,
Yeah, so good point,
completely
good
understandable.
call out there. Like we all got our eyes looking for that one and nowhere to be seen just yet, which is a bit of a
It's just
bummer.
it's also yeah, it's just surprising because like I thought it would have something would have
Fair.
come out about it, you know.
Yeah, 100% fair. Only other thing is sneak peek, which is like a complete nothing burger for me. It's like, oh, Lunar New Year's coming. You're gonna sell me a
Yeah,
lamp. Okay, cool.
yeah. We're
Right?
gonna
Like,
collect some envelopes. Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah. And this is like looks like some sort of a sub flare that they're gonna sell or
Yeah,
whatever. So, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, not
Somebody's
much to
asking
that.
if this is Orison because of the cherry blossoms. Maybe, but
Probably.
are they gonna just change the location for a week to make it look different?
I don't
Is that sneak peek worthy? I don't know.
know.
They usually sneak
I
peek
think it's
things they're
more that they
selling.
probably, yeah, they probably don't have a sneak peek for now because like they're waiting to see what's coming out next patch. I guess.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Um, there is, of course, yeah, one more thing which we touched on earlier, which was another tech preview test, and this was about the new inventory system. Um,
Yeah,
I did not get to experience it, unfortunately. I think Mike, you said the same.
I did very, very briefly, very
Yeah.
briefly. I had issues downloading, so I had to leave for hockey or something like that, and
Hmm.
I downloaded the patch 2 minutes before I had to leave, and
Yep.
I'm not. I just I
Just wasn't
can't.
there.
For me, it's more of a visual slash functionality aspects that just drive me nuts.
Hmm.
It's the same. It's basically the same inventory system that we have now, with a few additional functions like search and stack all and move all and things like that. Which move all we
Hmm.
obviously already had. So some of those things are there, and there's a bit more functionality, which is nice. But it didn't feel like a rework. It didn't feel like a refresh. To
Hmm.
me, a refresh would have looked more like a Tarkov inventory or something like that, where you have three sections that are functional, and that middle section, while functional, is just less functional than other. It just still is a very ugly, bad inventory
Hmm.
system in comparison to other games that we have. So it just was very difficult for me to get excited about.
Fair
And
enough.
yeah, it was just really really hard. That central area, if you look at other games like Tarkov, just
Hmm.
have so much more functionality. Like every conversation that we have about other games, I'm not saying Star Citizen should be Tarkov, but you can take from games that are successful, and I think Tarkov's inventory is one of its more solid features. I'm
Yeah.
sure people will disagree with that, but um, I don't think Star Citizen's inventory is going to be its most solid feature after
Yeah. No.
seeing what I saw. And this is like one of those things that they're going to carry this to 1.0, and that's not going to win you over. From like it straight up comes down to this and nothing else. The current people that are playing Star Citizen are people like you and me that are content creators that find making content about Star Citizen more fun than playing it, right? Or whatever. I'm not going to speak for you, but I'll speak for me. Making content about Star Citizen is why I play it. It's not that I'm making a living doing it necessarily, is it's fun. Make the
Hmm.
content part is fun. The game part is not fun yet. And the people that you need to win over are people that play finished video games, polished
Yeah.
video games. That inventory, while obviously the first test, did not feel polished. And it's not supposed to feel polished, but it like just from a base functionality will never be, right? So you just kind of look at it and you're like, ah, fuck, they missed it again. And I don't know how you feel about it from like playing other games and stuff, and I'll let you take over. But that was like I just looked at it, and there was probably a few guys here that were in the Discord call that we were in for Evo that we do, and I looked at it and I was like, I don't care. I don't care to test this because there's no point.
Everything I'd seen from people and talked to people about it, uh, it is leagues ahead of the current system, and a lot of that comes down to a lot of quality of life stuff, right?
Yes.
So having a search system for personal inventory is huge, especially because we just have so much shit, and you end up with so much stuff just randomly all the time. Being able to do that is fantastic.
Can I
and
can I
something that
get
we've
your
needed for a
thoughts on
while.
something about it?
Yep.
Is we went from a scroll system
Mhm.
to a page system with this inventory. That's probably the biggest change.
We're currently in a page system.
No, you scroll, like you open more containers and you just scroll down in your current inventory.
Yeah, and then if there's enough in there, it's a page. I think it's 50 items. It then
It's
turns
a
into a page.
combination of the two. This is
Yeah,
it's like scroll and page, I guess. This is purely
yeah,
page now.
just page.
Do you like that? Do you hate that?
How many items on the page? I guess is the important thing.
Not that many, which
'Cause
is
like-
why you have the
yeah.
search.
Yeah, which like I yeah, we needed search straight up. So I'm glad that's in. Having the stack all as well, being able to do that, fantastic. Also auto stacking, being able to like grab your water bottle, put it in your inventory, and it auto stacking with a stack of bottles, awesome. Makes a lot easier for inventory management. And then also, like I mentioned, being able to interact with cargo grids through your inventory system, huge, right? So it sounds like there's a lot more functionality that is put into this that we don't have in the current system. I personally don't know how it physically looks because I haven't seen it because it was Evo.
It looks exactly like
yeah.
it looks exactly like the what we saw at CitizenCon with better lighting.
Mm-hmm. Alright, cool. Sure.
Pretty much
That is-
exactly.
that is
Very
fine.
very slight changes. Like almost you wouldn't notice them at first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it for me it's you're right. They've added these quality of life things, but the need for the quality of life things are because the inventory is fundamentally dog shit. Is my perspective of it. Is like I need search because inventory's just awful. There's so many items. The stacking, most of them don't stack. It's hard to see them and find them because of the way everything looks in the inventory. There's a lot of the need for these things because they didn't go simple.
I would only say like I don't think that is necessarily a Star Citizen problem because not every inventory system I've played before, but like a lot of the inventory systems I've played before in other video games, like yeah, you do need the search for the exact same reason. You do need the stacking for the
Fair.
exact same
Okay.
reason. And so it's more bringing it up to the standard rather
Stacking
than
is standard,
you know
so that's fine. Like
That's-
no
that's
complaints
exactly,
about that.
yeah.
That is industry
Stacking is standard.
game standard.
Search should be standard for any game that has more than like 20 items.
But how about this? Saying stack all is way less of a standard than when I shift click over to my inventory, it automatically stacks. Now, as somebody who didn't get a chance to test it, is that what happens with the inventory? I'll ask people who played Evo because we're allowed to talk about it if you've played it.
Yeah.
Now, Sharkbite was in Evo. He can probably talk about that. He's going to be the first caller, so maybe we'll leave it for callers on that one. But I looked at it and just went, I don't care, and I just didn't. I didn't have time to test, so I didn't. And normally I would have been like, I'll just be late for my hockey game. I need to test this. I need to
Yeah.
see this. This was just not one of those situations. Also, pretty much everyone complains about inventory systems in every game, right?
Yeah.
So I just kind of accept that I'm never going to be happy with it, and that's that.
It's hard to get it right. It's
Yep.
and it'll always be a problem because like you want the complexity that having the additional items gives you.
Yep.
But you don't want to have to force players to mess around with them and have to sort through junk all the time. So
yeah, I think.
But yeah,
I was expecting just super solid because it felt like this is a launch feature, so it has to be like built from the ground up, like good. And it's one of those things where like I want to have confidence that CIG can like do something launchable that will bring people from the outside in. And this kind of had to be one of the things you nail, and I don't think they nailed it. And I'll just always feel that way, probably.
Possibly.
Yeah. Just comes down to we'll see. First test.
The one
Lots
other
of
thing
things can change.
Yeah. The one other thing that I heard from people is mass, like weight of items. The items do not have weight, but there is an option to sort by weight. Which implies actual weight in the future for these items, right? Because this is a brand new feature. This is not leftover tech from when they thought it might be a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's obviously some functionalities that will come in when items and crafting get more put in, right? That hopefully the system will work with. Like when they showed the original thing and they were showing durability, hopefully the system also works a little bit better with durability of items and crafting. Yeah.
Yeah. So it comes down to like they need this inventory system so you can have crafting. I'll take it. I'll take it. I know I'm like complaining a lot about it, but it's guys, it's important that we nail things and get people outside of us playing this game or the game dies. Yep. Please recognize the absolute insane importance of that. I'm not necessarily complaining for me. Who cares? I'll just deal with it. I've been dealing with the worst inventory system of all time for years.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. We need this game to be successful if we want to play it for 20 years. And the only way for it to be successful is to work with many audiences. So
yeah,
that's it. That's where it is you got to do things that are in other games if you want people who play other games to play your game. End of story. And Star Citizen's inventory does not fit with the inventories of the gamers that you're trying to compete with.
Yeah.
There you go. Callers?
Let's do it. If you want to call in to answer the call in the future, because we have plenty of callers today, make sure to go into the description below, head into the podcast link, go to the green room, and then head in there and we'll get to your call. But today, as always, Shark Bite.
How's it going, you guys?
What's
Good
up?
Stuff?
Oh, well, I just lost my monitors. I don't know why.
Well, you don't need those to talk to us.
Yeah.
You should probably go find them.
No, they just all went dark. We'll see if they turn back on.
He didn't get it. He didn't get it, Croncy. He didn't get the joke.
Oh yeah, no, I know. My refrigerator's running.
Yep.
Okay, I'll try to remember what I had in my notes. So I got the MOTH. I upgraded from my Guardian MX pretty much right away. And stoked about it. Haven't pulled it out yet because obviously as soon as it came out, it had bugs. But I at least got a bingo point for that because one of the things that I put was that a ship comes out and has major bugs. We'll see. Maybe eventually they'll get...
it being the worst at doing the job it's designed for is a pretty big
problem.
Bug.
Yeah. Yes, but at least once they fix the bugs, it will be the best at what it's designed for.
No, that's the thing. See, it's actually intentional. Everyone keeps saying, "Oh, every time you release a ship, it's better than everything else." Fine, we'll just release
it. Just screw this whole thing up.
Yeah.
That way, they don't have to nerf it later. But yeah, really stoked about that. As far as the inventory, I like where they're going with it. It is definitely significantly better. Oh, apparently my computer decided to update. That's why. Anyway, so it's significantly better than it has been, which I guess is a good starting point. One of the guys in Evo said that CIG hires UI experts, not UX experts, and that kind of shows. I'll
Yeah.
keep saying this. I think everyone should read the book Nudge, because choice architecture and how you design a system impacts the decisions that people make. And when you put things in different positions or make them harder to use or set bad defaults, it impacts not just how people play the game, but what people are doing in the game. And yeah, it's a big thing. And I think that, again, like, they want to go in the right direction, but until they're playing it enough to see, like, okay, these are the things that people are doing, these are the decisions that people are making, these are how people are moving their items around, they're not going to know what things to prioritize or what things to make the biggest and most obvious. And so, like, it's more intuitive than the current system, but there are some massive oversights that they need to get their head around, before they continue making changes. Because, like, if you're making changes with keybinds or with anything else and you're not playing the game, then those keybind decisions aren't going to make sense. And it means that when people are asking, like, hey, how do I do such and such, and all of the experienced players have rebound their keys to stuff that makes sense, like, I don't remember what the default keybinds are for stuff. I've been using the same keybinds for like 3 years, and I change them all the time. When I get new players started, I have them change it over to my bind, so I'm able to help them when we're playing together. Yeah, they got a ways to go, but I like at least where it's headed, sort of. I think that there are definitely some tweaks that need to be made, and I'm looking forward to the next test.
Can I just say this?
Yep.
Can we stop? Fuck third-person inventory, dude. It is so stupid and anti.
You don't like the paper doll?
I
It's
played.
not that it's a
UO.
paper doll,
It doesn't
it's
matter
that
that it's a
it's
paper
like-
doll.
It's that it's like, hey, we're going to
Literally
actively
change your
render
camera.
you and all of your stuff.
Okay, yeah. And that I guess, making it so that it changes your camera, so that it's not just showing you a picture of your character, but like it's actually moving your camera. And also the fact that they, for some reason, think that they need to render 3D objects in the inventory.
Yeah.
That is
Stop it.
why. Take a screenshot, take a flat picture, put it in high res. It will load so much faster.
Stop
That's
it.
that's been
Get
the
some
dumbest
help.
one, because also, like, it doesn't do any, like making it 3D doesn't do anything for us
It
other
adds
than make it slow.
nothing.
Yeah.
I
It
can't
adds
Like, if
grab
it was
it and like
picture,
spin it.
if it was generic picture of P4 AR versus the P4 AR that I've gotten, there would be no difference in my head,
Yeah.
right? When I look at it.
It's not like it shows you the equipment on that AR in the. You have to like pull it out and put it on your backpack to see if it has a suppressor. So
Oh my
it
god!
doesn't
Is
even
that
do the
still a
thing that it
thing?
should do.
That's still a
I
thing with
believe
the
it
new
does not show you
inventory.
the equipment in your inventory. I haven't checked in the new inventory, but I know that the way that it is now is bad, and it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. If it is on your character, if it's down in the bottom left corner, you can see what is equipped and you can drag it from one to the other. So that is at least there. But I haven't checked in the inventory in the thing, because when I went in, I had no items to check with. I had to actually go loot to find stuff.
Guys, if we mouse over our inventory and I cannot see the attachments on a gun that I have in my inventory,
Yeah, for sure. That's
Yeah, that is
Anyway.
basic functionality. Right?
yeah. I'll let you guys go.
Should
Thank
be
you so
there.
much.
Appreciate the call. Mike's having a moment.
Yeah, for sure. Oh no, I
Selling
would be having a
himself.
moment too. Okay, you guys take care.
Thank you.
Cheers, Sharkbite. Have a good one.
Talk to you later. Oh boy. Yeah.
It's all right. Calm down, Mike. He said he hadn't tested it.
Okay. Next caller.
But the next caller is going to tell us that is in fact how it works.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what the next caller wants to talk about. But
Hello,
right.
Trex.
Hey, Trex.
How we doing? You're currently muted.
Trex,
Still
going
There we go.
once.
Sorry about
Okay.
that.
Hey.
My bad.
All good.
Oh, good.
How y'all doing?
Good. What do you want to
stuff.
talk about?
Good. So y'all were talking earlier about the salvaging missions and adding complexity through different things, and my thoughts on that was that I want them to look for more ways to add interesting ways to interact with things through the actual gameplay rather than through the actual missions. And then with the missions, instead either have narrative or have specific scenarios that would be more dedicated to which ship you bring. Like having a small ship going into a dense asteroid field to take apart something, or having a big ship show up to a battlefield aftermath to help clean up everything. But as far as like the actual complexity goes, lean more on the game mechanics. So once they get Maelstrom in, shape charges, plasma cutters, making sure that you're getting everything off. Maybe a ship starts on fire and you have to actually sort through containing everything first and shutting everything down, rather than just having like waves of enemies or go here and go there and then you can go and do your salvage, that kind of stuff.
Sorry, going to the mission that you just suggested of getting to a ship that's like on fire and you have to get some stuff from inside of it is actually sick as hell. Someone get Elliot on this right away, because I imagine I mean I don't know how hard it would be, but I imagine they could like spawn a ship in a point, like in a value of distress or something, that it starts firing. But yeah, I want that mission right now. That's so good.
There was a fire on Idris when I was playing with the guys, and that's kind of what inspired that. But yeah, it's just
Nice.
like there's so many different ways that you could add complexity and interest to a mission without the classic MMO, go fetch this, go here, go fight these guys, and then go do the thing that you want to go do. And it's also kind of in line with them bumping the MOTH as a step, like Mike was talking about earlier, a step in the chain. Instead, it should be different ships for different jobs.
Yeah.
Having the small ships be more specialists, having the medium ships be more generalists, having the large ships being for like your actual large processing and like being in operating theater for an extended period of time.
Hear me out on this. I really like this idea, but I hate doing the thing of like, this is exactly how you should do it, CIG. But the idea of taking like sort of what they're doing now with the rubble pieces salvage thing, where the small ships, when you do construction materials or structural salvage, when you do the structural salvage, breaking it down, what you scoop up, you will get some material back, like the copper, titanium, tungsten type stuff, but you'll get a majority of the sort of salvage that you get in EVE Online, which is like joysticks and triggers and screens and circuit boards and things like that. And then the middle ship gets a good mix of both. And then the big ships do just the ore-like material with very small amounts of those, because those would get crushed up in the process of those big ships. And then you have like a variety of materials in the salvage process that is, so that's your depth, right? It's just having different types of material, which is simple depth, but that's still good depth in these games. And then now you're all of a sudden like, okay, I think what you desire in a game like Star Citizen is, if you're doing a salvage operation, for every single ship to exist on the field with you.
Yeah.
If you're doing
100%.
a mining group, you want every mining ship to be a part of it. And like, to go even further down the EVE Online path, but like people would call this arcadey, but we're 1,000 years in the future. So let's make it sound not arcadey. Let's make it sound realistic. is that the reclaimer being on the field could make your salvage lasers go farther, salvage faster, because it uses its antennas to choose the exact right frequency to break everything that could just, you could make it up however you want. It's the future. Nothing's real here, guys. It's 1,000 years in the future. Everything's going to look different than what it is today. So you can play around with stuff like that. And now your huge salvage ships become support of the your moths and your things like that. So you could do all sorts of things that to add those depth, like outside of the missions themselves. And then the missions don't have to have that much depth because your ships do. But not that I hate your ideas. Your ideas are awesome.
No, yeah, and the other side of that is slipping more towards realism, which is if you have somebody who is a veteran professional operating a small ship, they're not bad at what they do. They're likely going out and getting very valuable small stuff. So kind of like what you were talking with the pieces
the
parts,
circuit
but
boards.
also, getting higher quality materials when you're using a smaller ship because it's able to sort through things better, as opposed to using a larger ship and maybe losing some of the quality, but being able to do things faster.
Yeah. Or, I mean, again, like I said, you can, a smaller ship might be able to sort, but it won't be able to like small mining operations they don't catch everything. They focus on one thing specifically, and they do that one thing well. The large things gather lots of stuff, but they miss a lot of stuff too.
Well, and
things fall through the cracks.
And to take that to the next step in Star Citizen, you wouldn't go mining Quantanium in a larger ship like the Mole. You want to do that in the Prospector, where you can suck everything up, get out of Dodge, get things on, and then get back into play.
Yeah, except the Mole is perfect for the it just depends. The Mole works fine because the size of the rocks currently, you basically fill a Mole with most of the, like, you just choose the rocks wisely. Like, I have a Mole Quantanium rock, and when you need a Mole to break the rock, there's the right amount of ore is usually in the rock for you know what I mean? So they would have to change a lot in order for that to work. But your point makes sense. In the real world, it doesn't make sense in Star Citizen currently because of the way it works.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, is like leaning more towards that kind of stuff. They also need to do it with delivery and freight and whatnot, where if you're doing a smaller thing, you're doing more valuable and you're doing either longer trips or multiple stops or whatever.
Sure. My whole thing with things like the Moth or the Mole are just to go on mining is the Prospector could stabilize Quantanium for longer. Just add a thing to it. It just has different types of bags, or it just stabilizes it better because it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough.
There you go. Now I scoop Quantanium with that always. And why would I do it with the Mole? Because the Prospector's better at it. There you go.
But yeah. Anyway, that's all I wanted to put out there.
Yep. Appreciate it, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks so much for the call. Gotta go on, man.
All right. Bye, Trix. Guys. All right. Next caller is Odd Job Entertainment. Before we start, Odd Job, I saw your message, but I haven't responded to it yet because I saw it when I first woke up and then immediately rolled out of bed and started working.
All good, Mike. It has nothing to do with this show, so.
Yeah.
How we doing?
Yeah, what do you want to talk about?
I'm doing great. I have three things that I kind of want to point out. The first is the cargo capacity of the Moth doesn't really make sense to me in the context of the other ships in the Argo lineup.
Okay.
Right now you have the Mole, which it's supposed to have a max theoretical capacity of 288, but in order to do that, you have to unload the current bags and then let the next step in the bags fill up.
Yeah.
And so the Moth, by comparison, doesn't need a ship to help it unload as it is filling up, but it has that 288 up front. And I think that is disbalanced in the sense that if we talk about the risk and effort required for mining and salvage, they're both pretty comparable, but the
There's
mole
very little.
is kneecapped where exactly it's very little risk and effort, but the mole is kneecapped by comparison and has to come back to port 3 times as often.
Yeah. For now, but it just depends, is that feature going to be a thing or not? That's one of the things about mining bags that we still don't know. Is it going to pop back down and give you more? But regardless, you still have to remove them, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like you still have that parasite ship or whatever you want to call it that has to come and take the bags from you.
Yeah.
I think they should just reconsider that. It's a very old aspect of the mole. Like,
Do you
let's just
think
delete
they
that
are
aspect and
going
just
to?
make it 288.
Yeah.
I hope so, because otherwise it doesn't make sense.
I would love to see the cargo area look exactly the same. And like I see in Twitch chat, bags got to go, use SCU boxes. Not necessarily. Again, it's a video game. We could just say the bags have more space.
Yeah.
You could just say that. It's no big deal.
Yeah, but you can make them mechanically the same as SCU boxes. Like, they work the same way when you put them on cargo grids, and they you know, you can still do that.
Of course.
Yeah,
of
and
course.
then they wouldn't fall through the floor of the freight elevator half the time.
Yeah, like you don't need to switch over to boxes. It probably would make more sense to just be more in line with everything across the board.
Yeah, more uniform.
But if you want to have the bags have 288 SCU, you can. You could just say they do. And you don't have to change them all at the bottom. But I way prefer the like vertical cargo. I just think it looks cool, and I think it's easier to interact with. Right? And yeah, they did it with the golem, right? The golem bags are square. You could just go that route.
Yep.
100%.
And also no larger ships, like, because obviously the other mining ships are in concept, but none of them use bags. They either refine their own thing, or I mean, in the pictures of the Orion, those aren't bags that are sitting on like
those are giant boxes.
Those are giant boxes. So
yeah, and I was actually just looking at the Arastra to make sure that the SCU makes sense. We're talking about the Arastra has 576. 288 would be perfect for the mole. No issues there.
Yep. Yeah, it's not stepping on anyone's toes. And I've always said that mining ships need more cargo. That's the only bad feel I have with mining. It just feels bad that it's like, bro, there's a field of rocks here, and one rock and I'm full. Because again, if you're mining a mole rock, it most likely fills your mole. If you're mining a prospector rock, it's just one rock and done. I don't like that. It just doesn't feel as good as it could, because there's all these rocks in front of me. Let me mine all of them. Why not?
Yeah, and you're already out there. You want to spend some time out there. Going to port isn't the fun part.
No, or scanning, right? So if I find something, let me mine it.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. What else? You said you had a few other points.
Yeah, so the other big thing is I think we have a disagreement on the aspect of the skins being variant specific.
Okay.
And I was looking through the paint shop. We've got over 30 previous ships that set a precedent where variants are always compatible with all the skins. And my problem here is I look at skins as like the lowest hanging fruit for a value add.
Yeah.
Is it really worth selling off the goodwill of your players to sell them a skin twice?
I don't think you actually lose that much goodwill with the players when you do this.
People are pissed. People have gotten really mad about this. I just think
but none of them are stopping playing the game. They're all still buying the MOTH. You know, like it's in the risk reward for CIG, it's like all reward.
I almost just had a brain conniption too, because we're worried about the goodwill when it's been 14 years and we haven't even done basic game mechanics. So, you know, where we should be mad and where they should have lost their goodwill is somewhere entirely different than skins.
Yeah.
People don't like, people will act like they care about paints, and maybe they do in some ways, but they don't care enough for it to impact their financial decisions. You know?
Well, maybe the point that I'd make there is all of us are very well trained. We are used to being
Beaten.
taken advantage of in a very big way.
Mhm.
When you get millions of more normal people playing the game, now they're going to be looking at a store where you have 30 of these older ships that do share paints because they're variants, and you have quite a bit of variety in some of those variants. Like the Constellation series, totally different makeup of the aesthetics. Same with the Cutlass. But then you're going to look at the newer ships, and those are going to be variant exclusive. That's a disconnect. So I think, at least for the more normal people out there who maybe do have more self-respect than us,
I see. Here's the
why
thing,
change
though.
it?
Is you're looking at the precedent, but the precedent that they're setting now is every single ship that you mentioned is going to be sunsetted into a classic car, and they're going to make a new version of it where the paints are exclusive. So the new players will be trained to the new system, while we will have our classic car paints, and that's it.
But also, you're talking about players who are already used to worse paint systems than we have in Star Citizen, right? These
Worse
are
paint
your...
systems? We have the worst
Yes.
paint system.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't think there's worse.
In terms of money invested and all that sort of stuff, not even close. Your League of
Oh,
Legends
like money
skins,
spent?
your Valorant skins, all that sort of stuff is such a worse system.
As in,
But
like, how
see,
much
that's
you
the
have to
thing,
pay,
like,
or
I
what
would,
do you mean by worse?
Yeah, like I am saying that. Yeah, like
Okay.
being forced to pay for well, not being forced, but having to pay for those ones in those games is a lot worse. They're way more expensive for often a lot less effort as well.
Mhm.
In a lot of these situations, what I'm saying is those new players won't care.
yeah, but
Now,
see,
I
that's the
still
thing.
want
Like,
it
I
to
would
happen. To
happily,
be clear, I still want those paints to exist across variants. Like I said, I would also like one that's like can exist across manufacturer, all that sort of stuff. But I just don't think it's going to matter.
CS:GO skins. Let's go. Let's open crates.
yeah.
Well, at least you can sell CS:GO skins, right? Like that's actually
Yeah.
maybe one of the better systems because you buy in, but then at least you can get some money back.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I think I would happily pay more for, like, we're paying $6 for skins right now. If
Mhm.
they actually had really good skins with effort put into them, like the Prospector skin that we got as a reward with the dark
The best
base
skins for
color and
free.
then the bright green, yeah, like that is an amazing skin. People would pay $15-20 for that, and if they put more effort into their skins, people wouldn't really bat an eye.
Some of their skins that I put a lot of effort into, right? Like there was I don't remember what year
The
it was,
pyro
but we
one?
got maybe it's like the graffiti ones on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Yes, yep.
yeah, that's super sick, right? Because I hadn't done anything like that before. And then like once again, the base skin of this ship, like the base colors of the ship, pretty dope, right? Like it
Mhm.
feels like it's got a lot more effort into it than a lot of the other ships where it's just here is our color.
I will
So I think
forever
they have
just
started putting a
push.
lot more effort.
I will forever just push monetization that is not selling
Mhm.
ships. So if you want to be a
Yeah.
greedy, evil corporation, sell cosmetics like your heart's content. I do not
Mhm.
care because I'm not going to buy them anyway. I'm just going to
Yeah.
buy them from somebody for in-game credits if I'm able to. And if I'm not able to,
Yep.
I'm just not going to buy them because I don't give a shit about stuff like that. So it doesn't matter to
Mhm.
me. My like we're all just saying our opinions here, so nothing's wrong. It's just for
Mhm.
me, they continuously sell ships because they feel they need to, and if they can come up with a system where they no longer feel like they need to sell one of the largest progression systems in the game,
Mhm.
or could have been the largest progression system in the game, that would be great. If they just got away from that, I would love that.
Star Citizen just needs loot boxes. Turn it into a gacha game, $1 billion a year, guaranteed. Let's go. Get
I mean,
shot on
dude, just
Genshin
turn it
Impact.
into The
Oh
Sims. When we
yeah.
get base building, we're gonna have like just go crazy. Like
Mhm.
literally, you are a Fortnite base skin Andy if you have your like your normal base, and then there's like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in the shop to
Yeah.
just make your base look cool. Whether it's
Mhm.
beds and tables and chairs or the actual exteriors and just general interior styles, dude, go crazy. As long as the functionality remains exactly the same in all of them, go nuts. I would spend money on that stuff.
I
to be
also
honest.
think like at least a large portion of like the public part of the company, like the devs that actually talk about whatever, I think they would also like be keen for this idea of not selling ships as long as we're still making enough money to operate, you know?
Mhm.
Like I do believe that would happen. The problem is I don't like that is a big ask for them to get to that same amount of revenue that they get from selling ships. So
If you have to sell your soul
yeah.
to make your game, sometimes I'd rather see it just fail.
Yeah.
Like Ashes failing. Oh well,
hmm
they couldn't do it.
Well, and to that point, like if we could make the same kind of revenue, again with these being the lowest hanging fruit, we should be having like hundreds of skins like per ship by this
Yeah.
point. 14 years in, there should be 100 skins per ship.
Or we shouldn't be 14 years in because we shouldn't have wasted this much time, and we
Yeah.
didn't need this much revenue in the first place. And when we stop
I-
making
I'm-
two
True,
games at once, we
true.
don't need as much revenue, and we don't need as much we don't need to make $100 million a year to function as a company in this game. That is so ridiculous and stupid. It's obviously
I-
because of other factors that we deal with this.
No.
And
I-
if we didn't
I
get
also-
lucky and sell spaceships for thousands of dollars that people would buy, this game would have died years ago where it probably should have. I'm glad it hasn't, but here we
I would
are.
also like to push back on hundreds of skins per ship. Hell no. I am not going through hundreds of different paints per ship to try to find the one I want. That's actually messed up.
I mean, let's be
Please
real. They
no.
should just
Well,
sell
not with their
swatches, and then you
UI.
have.
Yeah.
They should just sell swatches, and
let
then
me
there
do
should
them
be
myself.
thousands of different paints that we can make
Yeah.
ourselves. But they went a different route. But yeah.
Last point I wanted to make, and just to kind of end on a high note, we mentioned the Geneva Convention, right?
yes, we did.
Realistically, if the Geneva Convention exists in Star Citizen, the issue is not people masquerading as medic ships, because those become bigger targets. The issue is masquerading as a medic ship as literally anything else, because that was what the target was under the Geneva Convention.
Got it. Also, like, your paint doesn't determine what the ship says when you lock onto it, so like, who cares?
Yeah, and who's looking at a paint from
5,000
kilometers
meters
away?
Yeah, or
Yeah.
even further. Exactly.
Guys, we don't know if it's safe. Let's get a little closer and make sure their paint is okay.
Yeah, let's make sure they're using the right paint before we shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Not in our game, at least. But all right, Odd Job, we'll let you go, man.
All right,
Cheers,
thanks for having me.
Yes, of course.
Have a
Catch
good
you
one.
later, dude. Bye-bye. All right, our next caller is Miles Pepic Walrus. Hello.
If that happens, you're gonna have the Care Bears saying, "You're using the medic ship. You can't attack me. You're a medic." You're gonna have-
I'm being
No, I
gweefed.
think what you'll find is it's ultimate roleplay, actually.
I'm being
Um,
gweefed.
Just with the topic of skins and paints, I think there's a happy medium ground where you can have paints that are ship wide. So if you just want a red mole and or moth, that should just be between both. But then you can have variant exclusives, and they should be marked. They should be labeled as, "Hey, this is a variant exclusive." So
Best
they can
point
have
so far.
specialized paints per variant. But then there's the ones that are, just the generic ones that share between.
100% agree. That's the best point about paint so far. Every ship should come with the base colors. Every single ship should have black, red, blue, green, yellow, white, something like that. And then variant exclusives for each one to be like badass and cool. That's where you get your medical skins on medical ships and your, crazy piratey skins on your Drake ships. And there you go.
Yes. And even I think the default colors, just the base one, should just be sold in game. But that is a big ask.
Yeah. I that's okay too.
Yeah. So I wanted to touch upon the at the beginning, it was talking about like the releasing and just pushing stuff to game to get it fixed and stuff. They had a solution for this with 4.0 and 3.24 or whatever, where they just had a stable branch that just, hey, we're gonna release 4.0. Progression's gonna stop on this older branch, but it's stable. Obviously, they can't keep that up the entire time, but for like, hey, if they, let's say they keep on this 2-month cadence, like every 2 months they're gonna release patch.
Nope.
They could just be like, hey, for the first month and a half, this stable branch is staying up. Progression won't carry over, but if you want to play it, then you can play on that. Otherwise, you can play on the new branch where progression will carry over until the next release cycle.
Okay,
And then they can
I
have
changed
tech
my mind.
reviews.
I was shaking my head and saying no the whole time, because if you have two open, people are only going to play the old one or whatever, the stable one.
Yeah.
But the
But, you know,
progression
progression
thing,
carry o-
maybe,
yeah.
yeah. But again,
'Cause
progression.
that's how it worked for 4.0, and everybody kind of just moved over to 4.0 for the most part.
Yeah, but you're acting like 4.0 wasn't 4.0. And like,
Yeah.
of course we moved over. It was Pyro. We were going through a jump point for the first time ever. Obviously, we moved over. Are we going to move over for the Moth and industrial missions? Of course not. Come on.
Well,
Right? So
and for those cases, they don't need a stable. Like if it's something that small, I guess it could be a case by case scenario,
Yeah.
I guess. But
maybe I'm just like, dude, we're playing an alpha. Who gives a shit? None of this stuff matters. They're like, you're talking about the progression holding. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it does.
No.
If it's broken, just
more
don't
just-
play.
yeah, that's more just a incentive people to move over. Really, is the reason I tossed that out. But
Everyone
Yeah.
moves over if that's the only patch,
it is the only one.
and you get all the data you need. It's
agree.
one gets you to the finish line faster. I don't know why you would choose anything other than that at this stage.
I just don't think CIG would do that.
It's what they're doing right now. So I don't know why you think they wouldn't do that, because it's literally what they're doing. Patch always goes, don't care about
Yeah.
the state of it, and we'll fix it when we'll fix it eventually. And that's what they do. And sometimes they don't fix anything, or it keeps breaking or whatever, but it's exactly what they're doing now.
I mean, yes, we do have. You are right. With like elevators and then freight elevators at the beginning of the 4.0 cycle, elevators were a mess, and then they were kind of forced to fix those, and they've been pretty decent for the most part. And then same with freight elevators, they're still not perfect, but they're functional now after resource drive.
Yeah. I think
Usually-
there's a difference between the industrial missions not working perfectly with like freight elevators and stuff, and you selling a $315 spaceship that doesn't work. There's
Yes.
like a big difference between
Definitely.
those two things. Like the content in the patch, like not being perfect, is totally acceptable to me. Selling something to somebody for $315 that doesn't work is not.
Exactly. That is selling somebody a broken product.
Yeah, it's like, oh, here's this lemon, enjoy it, and it's like, what? I can't. This is dumb. But again,
Right.
it'll be fixed quickly probably. So who cares?
The money makers usually are fixed quickly anywhere in any industry, really. So
Yeah. What else you
with
got?
the inventory system, and specifically with like quality and stuff, I am hoping they have nesting with quality, because I remember I'm not in Evo, so I haven't gotten to do any of these tests yet. It's another thing that they should open up.
Get rid of Evo.
Yeah. Or do a rollout for all these. If they want to keep Evo as the first thing for targeted testing, then whatever, but open them up. But I remember during, I think it was your video, Mike, that I watched, that you said that quality stacks, which I am okay with. These types, even with quality, they should be stacked, but I should be able to go into that stack and then pick out the ones I want of like the quality ranges. So they need that nesting.
Quality didn't stack with the gems, but maybe that's because we didn't have the stack all button yet. So,
Well, I definitely think they should stack for your base inventory, and then you can go into those stacks and then pull out.
pull out one of it. You
Yeah.
mean?
So you just
okay,
have
cool.
like so you just
agreed.
have like a stack of everything, and you can just use that for whatever. Like, hey, I just want to use this stack. I'm just going to craft a bunch. But then you can go in and be like, I want this specific quality range.
I don't know.
and then-
We'd have to see that in practice. That one's hard for
Yeah.
me to visualize.
And then overall with the inventory is one of those things where it's like, even the best inventory systems, there's always going to be things that are like, it could be better. Every inventory system, there's like this could be better. So they just need to get it to where it's on par with the rest of the gaming industry, and it's not a pain to use.
But also works with the game.
Yes.
Right? Like that's also a big pain is like a lot of the times it's a lot of features, but particularly inventory as well. It's like feels like it's working against you in stuff that you're trying to do.
A lot of things in Star Citizen do, which is
100%. Yeah.
a bit which back last year, at the beginning of last year, I think myself, I think a fair few people had a misconception on what playability meant, where they were going to tackle a lot of those pain points. They still need to have, I think, a year where they tackle those pain points that you just get hitched on.
Yeah.
And then about like 3D versus icons, there's pros and cons to both.
Name the pros, please. I'm trying to find them.
File size is one. Pre-rendered icons could definitely bloat file size. Not that that matters with Star Citizen, but and in theory, it should be accurate models. That's the main thing. Is like if they change something, they don't need to update every image.
Yeah, but I don't think that would
but
yeah, of course that's more work, but that doesn't sound like months of work to like update some.
No,
some
like
JPEGs,
dude,
you know?
seeing
So-
Tarkov like your completely modded gun looking exactly like it would look in your inventory is.
I mean, that's definitely what it should
it's
do.
awesome.
No.
It's awesome.
Because everything taking a long time to load when you open inventory, that's another pain point that needs to go away.
Yeah.
I just think we're going to get to the point where, like, I don't think they're ever getting rid of the 3D inventory. I think that was decided a while ago. So hopefully we just get to the point where everyone's computer is good enough to not care, and everything can stream in fast enough. That's what they're expecting. They're like, oh, this game's not coming out for 15 years. We'll prepare it so when everyone's computer is good enough, it'll.
And then AI happened, and we'll never have another computer again. Your computer, your current computer, is your last one. So hopefully, it's good.
Hopefully,
yeah.
Hopefully that bubble pops.
Yes. All right. Anything else, Miles? Because you got a lot of people behind you. We'll try to get to.
Yep. No, I think that was it. Other than Core War, the item, the subscribers fine doesn't beat the cuck chair from last year. That's going to be the best one. They can't top it.
I forgot about that.
But the cuck chair was in the package with the subflare stuff last week.
So they're just expanding on. There's just you know, you could have your cuck chair, you could have your heart lamp next to it.
You can have
the
that
real lore of
next year's going to be a mirror on the ceiling of your base.
Yeah, those types of things. Those are what monetization. That should be what the short should go for. More microtransactions, less macrotransactions, and I will leave it there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes. Agreed.
Awesome. Right.
Agreed. Catch you later, dude. Bye bye.
Have a good one.
Bye.
All right. Our next caller is I'm Elfo. I'm Elfo. Are you there?
How you doing, Elfo?
I was muted. Hello.
Hello.
Howdy.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
That's yourself.
Yeah, I'm doing well. I guess first things first, I'll touch on the mining and salvage gameplay and like the MOTH is great, despite all its lovely bugs that it came with.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be probably my go-to salvage, even though I don't like salvage in its current state.
I love salvage.
I think it lacks a lot of depth, personally. I mean, in mining we have modules. I don't know why salvage doesn't have the same thing.
Because there's no depth to the gameplay itself. You're not trying to balance anything anywhere. It's I still like the idea that they came on camera and said we wanted a gameplay system that was more chill, and that's the route they went. And I'm okay with that personally. If it's just,
I mean, simplicity is good, right? Like, I don't think everything needs to be complicated, but I think the option to like maybe be like able to mid-max it yourself. Like, right, if someone wants to just keep it simple and salvage, then I think that's okay. But I think we should also have the option to like make it a bit more enjoyable for ourselves.
What did you think about what the other caller said about, well, hey, most likely salvaging is going to happen after combat. So, there being fires that you have to put out or
Oh,
um,
I'd love that. Yeah.
things like that. I mean, that seems very easy to do because it's all
Yeah.
features
Yeah.
that are currently in the game. So would that help enough, or do you want more variety towards or more depth in terms of what I was saying before, where it's like you get comp boards and things like that, like variety in the material that
Mhm.
you gather. I personally really think it's important that salvagers create different materials than miners, where everything that they've
Yeah.
explained is like, oh, this is mining but easier. And it's like, wait, so why would I ever mine? So like
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
you gotta kind of lean it in a different direction.
So I like both ideas. I like the idea of like you go to a salvage location, you have to, go make sure the ship doesn't blow up or the quantum's going critical or it's
Hmm.
doing whatever it's doing. I think that's pretty cool. Like to just maybe go on board, use engineering because I don't think right now engineering didn't. I don't think it really changed much for me personally.
Not yet, no, and very odd
Um,
that we,
not yet. Yeah,
pointing out roadmap stuff. Very odd that we have not seen anything on improvements to engineering
and that's my
in any
worry is that
discussions.
the engineering that we have now is essentially just going to be what we have for the next year.
Look out for SCL. That's
And
probably a
Probably.
big call
Yep.
out for SCL next week because Torsten will be
yeah,
on it.
Yeah.
yeah.
That would be a good question to ask. I
Um,
didn't think of that one.
like I don't know. Like I like mining. We've been doing Idris like Idris mining, setting up operations with our org that we've been doing, and that's been really enjoyable. My biggest gripe with that in terms of mining is like, oh my god, is it painful to go search for the rock that you want? And then you
Yeah.
finally find the rock after 20 minutes and it's one rock, and like
Yep.
in a mall you're not filling up on one rock usually. At least
Disagree.
like for me.
If you find the right one, you're good. But if you're
Yeah, it depends
solo,
on the rock.
no.
Yeah.
If you're in a crew, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they have the solution for that. That's why we were like big on the Planet Tech V5 thing. Is
Yeah, yeah.
excuse me, I'm not sure if you're aware, but if and when that comes in, well,
Yeah.
if that comes in, I don't know if this will be with it necessarily at the beginning, but all
Right, yeah.
rocks are going to go to one material. There's that and inert probably. So
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
it will no longer be this like, oh man, that's a really good quantanium rock, but it has tungsten, so I can't break it with my
Yeah.
prospector. Like you're not going to run into those type of problems anymore as much. It's going to be that is a quantanium rock, that is a tungsten rock,
Right, yeah.
that is a titanium rock, and that will really help with that because then when you find a field of rocks, hopefully you find a field of quantanium, and that is
Yeah.
your spot, and you just sit there. So they already have a solution for that problem. We just have to wait for it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my biggest gripe was basically like you find an I-type rock and it's just one rock, it's not a cluster.
Yep.
Like I think if you find a good field, you should find a good field. But I think the
Agreed.
way to scan rocks should be better. I think I
Same.
shouldn't have to get up to like 3K to just tell what type of rock this is. I'm in a mining ship. Surely they come equipped with something to find these rocks. Like that's what their entire purpose is.
Yeah.
So I think that needs to be looked at a little bit. In terms of like salvaging in the moth, we did some. Obviously, we couldn't really properly salvage with the moth, so we just kind of
Yeah.
munched and moved on.
Mhm.
But like I said, I'm happy to see them put missions in where you have to go aboard and like put out fires, repair the quantum drive, or whatever scenario you have to do. I obviously hadn't salvaged in a while, so I thought it was like I didn't realize that you had to now turn off ships to
Yep.
actually munch them.
Yep.
Which I thought was cool. It was a small change, but I thought it was good. Yeah, overall, I'm kind of impartial. I'd be happy with just any kind of extra depth to it. I'm also fine with it just being as simple as possible because, I don't have to be the one that has to do everything. Like I can always pay someone else to get the salvage if I don't want to, if I'm too bored with salvage, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's very simple to just be like, instead of it saying ship is on, it could just say ship is on fire, or
yeah,
the there's still fuel in the ship. Like they could just be like, hey, you can't crush this because your ship's going to explode if you do. So,
exactly. Yeah.
take care of these things first. Remove the atmosphere from it, and if it's as simple as like just kicking it out into space, that's fine. You could collect it if you want, and doing stuff like that would be. I think that's fine depth for a system that's all still very simple. It's not these
Yeah.
mini games like mining is, which is what they clearly wanted to get away with salvage, and that is
Mm.
okay. I think that's
Mhm.
fine, but adding the depth there is
Yeah.
a cool idea.
I mean, one of the other things too is like I miss being able to find like cargo on these abandoned ships. That's not really a thing anymore. I do think it would be cool to find maybe loot boxes on them if you're salvaging, like to give the player a
Mm.
reason to go out and check the ship that they're looting. I mean, because most of the ships you're looting are big cargo ships, and they're just abandoned and left there. And I think it'd be a cool little feature for salvagers to essentially do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than salvaging mining, that's my only things. The rest is basically inventory because I was an Evo. I did a lot of testing. I did like 3 hours of testing on the inventory to see
Mhm.
what the scenario was. And in terms of that, I like the inventory system, but I think that middle section for the armor just needs to go. I don't need to see my character in 3D, and I don't need to
Yeah.
see it in third person.
It just it
It's
put
so
me off
convoluted.
so much that I just didn't want to test. I knew it was coming
Yeah,
too, and it's still just I was just like I'm done. I'm done with this
it's
inventory.
weird because we went from in the old system where you can literally just click your body and pull things off to now you click circles and pull them off.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that provided any quality of life. I played Tarkov quite a bit of time, so I get your like why you like the Tarkov inventory. I mean, it wasn't always that way, but the end product that we got for it was like it's actually enjoyable to use.
Yep.
Mhm.
Um, being able to see weapons, to inspect weapons, to see like what's on them. In the inventory, one of the biggest gripes was is like from the old test, like or the old like like the preview they showed us, showing us the tooltips of like the items, like showing us its like durability, its integrity,
Yep.
what tier it is. That's not even in this test, which it's the
I mean, of
first
course it's not,
iteration.
because
First
like
Yeah,
first
crafting isn't
test.
in. So
Yeah.
like
right.
those systems aren't there.
Which is
They're
totally
not there,
fine.
right? But
Yeah.
um, the other thing was is that I don't really understand where Starware fits into all of this.
What even is that at this point? It is a 3-year-old
Exactly.
conversation
Mhm.
Right, yeah.
that
But
probably is not
I
happening.
briefly touched up on it. Yeah, but like I don't see where it fits in that inventory, so it leads me to believe that that's either not coming or the inventory is due another rework, which
Yep.
it
Which will
is what it
be
is.
yeah,
Um,
another
in terms of
2-year
the
wait.
search bar, can they please,
Mhm.
please, please give us smart searching? I
Yes, we
when I
still go with
start
that really
the first
weird
couple
search
letters,
where you have to know the file
exact
name
name.
of the item,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like smart searching needs to be a thing for this search bar, otherwise it's just going to be
Mhm.
just as annoying. Um,
Guess what they said about our current inventory? That they were going to add
oh,
smart searching to it, and they knew that it was a problem, and they still haven't done it.
yeah. All the everything in terms of like the categories was fine, all worked fine. Like clear filters worked, sorting didn't work. It was a bit meh. You can have the
Mhm.
two mining tools, and you can see the attachments on one of the mining tools, but the second one that you have in that goes into the knife slot, you can't actually see the attachment. It doesn't show the attachment slot. I assume that's just something they have to fix eventually or
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but I genuinely think that the preview that they showed us obviously looked way better. Um, I mean, it was
Yeah. Of
obviously going to
course.
look way better. It was basically all just images,
Yeah. It was
PNGs,
literal art.
yeah, yeah. I did testing on ships, like in ship inventories with the SU. I didn't see the ability to pull things from my inventory and put it on the grid.
Okay.
Um, that wasn't something like it gave me the ability to interact with, but there was also a bug with grids where if there was an SU container on the ship, you couldn't see the ship inventory anymore.
Okay.
So if you took the box off, you could see the ship inventory, but only if you were 3.5 meters away from the box.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But then you couldn't access the box. It was weird, but doesn't really matter. The other gripe was when you first interact with your home terminal, it doesn't take you to your local inventory right away.
Mhm.
You're just in your own inventory.
And then you have to tab over
So
to it.
you have to tab over to actually see what's in that inventory,
Okay.
which was a bit annoying. Um, but other than that, I mean, I still think it's miles better than what we have in terms of quality of life.
Mhm.
I think it visually looks better, but that's not hard. and from what we're going from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else was there?
I would probably
that's really it.
say
It's
one more
just-
thing or leave it there because we got one more caller and only a
Yeah.
few minutes left.
No, I mean that's all I really have to say about it. I
Perfect,
thought it was better than what we have, but still has a little ways to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right, brother.
Fair enough.
Thank you for your insight and everything,
Cheers for the call.
and good
I appreciate
convo.
having me.
Appreciate you, dude.
Yeah. Have a good one.
Later.
Bye, Alpha. All right, and our last and final caller. Sorry to the other guys in the call list. I don't know what order you guys came in. Usually they put you guys in order in which you came. I just threw you in what order I saw you, so that's why we went with the way we went. But my bad. So our final caller, Cycle Chief. What's up, man?
How are we doing, Cycle? You are currently muted.
Or Cycle Chef, excuse me. We might get to one of you guys.
Cycle. Going once.
If he doesn't come in by the time I write his name here, he's got to go. Going twice. His name is written. Yeah, oh my God! I literally clicked his name. He just unmuted.
Buzzer beater.
Sorry.
You're good.
Sorry, I was watching you guys on YouTube, so it's probably a little delayed.
Oh, okay, true. Well, welcome. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, number one. But
course.
just touch quickly on the last caller too, and some of the talk on engineering, because just find it funny that when they were going to launch it, everyone was up in arms, like you're not going to be able to solo ships anymore, and it's going to be the worst thing that happened. And I'm still getting soloed by Idris in atmosphere, so I think engineering is just fine.
Yeah, it's a non-issue for now. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was excited for mining and salvage because I'm more of an industrial player. So when these missions came on, because, my game loop right now was getting a little dull. But typical experience, luckily at 4.5, for some reason, I got Chris Roberts duped a bunch of ore that was in my inventory. And so the initial hand mining missions were easy for me to execute because I could just take it all in and I could submit like hundreds and hundreds of this ore. Didn't have to do any of the work. So, but then it got to a whole thing where I couldn't turn in refining orders once I got to the ship mission. So that's like a bug that I submitted that a bunch of people are happening. You click on all the things and get a quote, and then when you go to submit, it just erases it, puts it back in, and so I couldn't do any of that. So I switched to salvage and tried to do some of those things where you pulled out the components and everything, and then you get some of those ships like the Scorpius where you can't pull out the quantum drive to save your life unless you know how to like open and close all the different ports on the ship and stuff like that. So I basically gave up on that whole thing. So I'd be interested, like you say, to see what the stats are and how many people actually do these missions, because I just think it was a fail.
Okay. Yeah. Hard to disagree.
Yeah. And then just the other thing I'll say is like I know you're saying that it's alpha and there's certain things where we just got to be like, it is what it is, like it's not going to get much better. But I think some of these sandbox things, like especially with 4.7 coming, and they've got Rock Cracker or whatever they're calling it coming up. Like I default in trying to go to play some of those sandbox loops because they're enjoyable. But the thing is, they launch these things, and then now, like so far ahead, they're all busted now, and nobody goes back to like. So maybe when they launch a new patch, they start working right out of the get-go. But like I went to Hathor today because it's so broken that I can just fly in, get out of my ship, go loot everything because all the doors are unlocked, and you can grab all the alignment keys and everything. We tried to do the Lazarus the other day, and the egg wouldn't spawn for the worm. I was watching Detox the other day, and they had a cakewalk through it because none of the ads spawned, so they cleared the initial enemies, and normally that's like a nightmare to run that even with the full group. And I think although like obviously like these things are things that they're going to fix over time, I think if they don't fix some of that stuff now, I think your core players, especially guys like me who are like older, I don't have a lot of time to play, but I do have disposable income. Like I'm at the point now where I'm going to take one of those hiatuses for a few months because it's like when you drink too much and you get a hangover and you're like, I'm not going to drink for a while. It's just getting to a point where it's not playable anymore. And I think those things were so well received, and to let them get to the state where they're at now, I just think that's a real miss that they should be working on fixing those. And you would think that long term, that gives them data and everything to make sure that the game's going to progress the right way, right? That those things can stay stable.
More and more in the last year, I've felt like, especially with the releases that you're mentioning, the like standard of Star Citizen as a live service just has to get higher, because you've started to make this content that people want to play every day. They want to spam over and over again. And if any of those are broken, you just have to turn off the servers and fix it. You know, like we're getting to that stage in some of these patches. A lot of the patches last year were relatively okay for that stuff. Like Hathor worked most of last year, with the exception of like right at release for like a month or whatever. But like the Valakar breaks all the time. And yeah, like the actual content people are trying to play, if that doesn't work, what's the point of having the server up at all?
Yeah.
I was like very much arguing that just like leave it up, who cares? That's a decent point, but is shutting off the server going to fix it?
Well, I imagine a lot of the like, it won't, but you would have to put extra resources into other stuff too. Like it wouldn't just be putting off the servers. You would also have to put more resources into current bug fixing, right? Fixing the bugs that are happening today, whatever. And that part of that would usually involve, at least in other video games, that usually involves taking down the servers.
Yes, but the reason it works in those other video games is because you have one. And your argument is we're getting there, but we're not there. So it's like I'm just arguing on there like I understand how difficult of a job they have in that case of, and granted they put themselves in this situation, but it is how do you prioritize what to do? It's like, do we take down the servers, or do we even just invest this one guy's time in fixing this thing when he is working on instancing, or he is working on Planetech V5, or he is working on the next thing that you're going to play? That has to be a really, really difficult choice to make. And I feel like they have to make that choice all the time. And I'm leaning more towards the direction that they are going in now, which is just ship it. Just ship it, and then every patch put some focus into those things. But I think the issue that we run into is it's constant Band-Aid fixes and not investing the actual time to solve the root of the problem.
It's when you're building.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and last thing I'll say, because I know you guys got to go, is the money has to go. And I know that they're arguing like, oh, if we monitor it, we learn more from who's doing duping and all this kind of stuff. But the biggest game loop that's ruined for me, because I used to do a lot of boring hauling in the morning when I'm having a coffee, or go mine things and all that kind of stuff and sell it to make money. Like money doesn't matter anymore. So the game has become boring. And I understand that you can't. They want to monitor it for a bit, but then set a ceiling. Like you can't have more than $10 million in your account or whatever it is, because
I mean, it would get boring then too once you hit the cap. Then what do you do?
I think the thing is, right, like when the second they introduced Wicklow last year, they made it so that a full wipe is way more punishing than it was ever before.
Yep.
Right? And I do not see them doing just a money wipe ever again. You know, I feel like if we get a wipe, it's going to be a full wipe, because otherwise people will just have like they might have no money, but they've still got all the stuff that they grinded for.
But haven't they been saying that they don't think a full wipe is coming? That
they said they're doing a targeted wipe.
Yeah.
And what we don't know is like targeted. Does that mean just money? Does that just mean duped items? Does that mean individual players that were clearly exploiting? We don't exactly know what it means, what targeted means, but they said they're doing a targeted wipe when they're ready to. Maybe that's 4.7. Maybe that's somewhere during 4.7. Who knows? But that's what they want to do.
it also like let's say targeted wipe does mean money. Well, people had already like you'll know the wipe is coming because they're not going to just announce it and do it on the same day because they never have before. Every time they've announced a wipe, it's been within a month or two.
Yeah.
People are just gonna trade and spend all their money for all the items they need for Wicklow before their wipe happens. Now they have all their Wicklow items.
Yeah, for example,
and you know,
yeah, if my org
Doesn't
account
work.
was going to get targeted, well, guess what? Since we knew that there was a wipe coming, we were like, hey, our org account is like 3 billion credits on it. Why would we hold on to this? We might as well share it with our org mates so they can get the ships that they want before the wipe, and buy some cool ships and share the wealth because we don't need it if they're going to wipe accounts. Who cares?
Yeah.
So
that's why I'm saying like I do not see a money wipe coming without a full wipe, which
I hope there's
is
a full
probably
wipe.
necessary.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what like
necessary.
I think they will. I want them to do.
Yeah.
But please do it after I get my address. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it needs to happen. Like we need a wipe of some kind, like right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right, this is a good stopping point, bro. So we'll let you go.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Of course,
Thanks,
Cycle.
Tom, for
Good
the call.
convo, man.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, and that was answer the call. So yeah. Bit of a I would just before we head out, this is the second time they've done this. How are you feeling about these longer patch cycles with these like middle grounds of content? How's it feeling so far? This one feels pretty meh to me. Crappy ship sale with a broken ship. Love the ship, but hopefully it works. So that's like a hit and a miss. You have the missions, which just feel like a miss. And then the event isn't an event. It's a buy pink stuff from us, please. So this one feels a little, Coramore. We didn't even talk about it. So it's like, kind of feels.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Like
you liking it more than last year is kind of, how are we comparing this year to last year?
Yeah. I think I am. Especially because, at least in this instance, so many people still haven't finished AA yet. And I'm liking having that little bit of extra time for people to get through it. I'm still seeing groups pop up all the time so people can go through. And so people still being able to do that is great. The thing that we thought might happen of like the mid-patch fixing some bugs feels like it wasn't the case. Feels like it's the exact opposite. Feels like way more bugs have come about because of it.
Yeah.
So not liking the look of that, but
yeah, it just we haven't had that big thing yet. We haven't had Hathor drop. We haven't had a worm drop yet. So I think it'll feel pretty good if we got some good content. We're still at the beginning of the year, but I think by this point last year we had Hathor drop. So it was like,
I think Hathor
might have
dropped
been in like March.
So it was about to happen.
Yeah.
Which
like,
maybe Rockbreaker is about to happen.
I mean, it is, right? Isn't it part of 4.7?
It's the
roadmap,
stations are in the roadmap. I don't believe the actual like event or whatever is there.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Also,
but it also sounded like they were targeting it for the next
4.7 PTU soon? Question mark, right? So that'll be something to dive into.
Next week, maybe.
Yeah. So there's
surely like an Evo or something.
Yeah. So we're gonna have some things to sink our teeth into soon. So I think this is better than last year. I think it's gonna work better than last year. It might feel shitty this week.
Hey,
but I think it's better.
The first 2 months of last year sucked. Nothing worked.
True. And then we got Hathor, and it was pretty based from that point forward.
Yeah.
Of like,
yep.
There was always something. Dude, we went Hathor, Worm, Snake, like crazy events that were like, some of them were like kind of cool with really nice rewards. So
Onyx facilities, still my favorite bit of content in the game.
Yeah. So they have a lot to live up to from last year, right? So we'll see.
The content team need to. Well, they don't need to, but like they've got a large bar that they set for themselves last year that they need to try.
I mean, to me, they're likely gonna exceed it because you got crafting, inventory, instancing, rock breaker.
Well, just before everything you mentioned before
Genesis.
Rockbreaker is a feature, and we got no features last year. So that
Yeah.
already is like a big bonus, right? So it's like
Yeah.
it's content plus all these extra features.
Yeah, you guys are saying transport. Transport's just like a quality of life thing. Like, who cares? Same with the inventory thing. But like as far as features and content, you never know. Maybe base building by the end of the year. So this could be, if we're doing limited ass crafting, why can't we do limited ass base building?
Yeah, I am being. I think in the predictions episode, I was like, "Nah, no shot, whatever." But more and more already, only 2 months in, I'm starting to be like, maybe we'll see something.
Yeah, my tiny little homestead, and just wipe it when you want to
Yeah.
wipe it. Who cares?
Yep.
So yeah, that's where we'll leave the show. We do really, really appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, we'll talk about this after. I was going to say some content creator thing that nobody gives a shit about, so ignore that. But yeah, thank you so much. Hit us up, guys. Check out our Twitch streams. Hit the follow button if you guys are watching on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, that should all be linked in the description. If you're on Twitch, get subscribed over on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, get subscribed over there too, because none of you guys subscribe, and it's not okay. It's my understanding that the YouTube algorithm is changing again to where you subscribing actually matters a lot more than it used to. They used to just serve you videos that you watched a lot. They still do that, but I think they weighted a lot more towards subscribers than they did a while ago. So help us out. All right? That really does help. The more subs, the more views, the more awesomeness. So for us, maybe not for you, but if you see us, if you see us doing well, it might, and you like the show, that might make you feel good too.
The more viewers. Fuck was that sound? The more viewers,
random, the more different callers.
The worst callers. Yeah, it's gonna be great. It'll be a trade wreck. Let's go.
You're gonna see me yell at some people then, which some of you guys like as well. All right, some of you do. Some of you hate it. Oh, he's being disrespectful.
And also, if I see any of you guys at Enter Atmosphere next week, say hi. It's gonna be lots of fun. There's gonna be like over 500 people there, which is very, very cool. So
what time? So it'll start really early in the morning US time, right?
The stream. Because we're doing racing, and then there's like an interview with Chris, and then PvP. The stream I think starts like what would be like 9 hours from now, but on next Saturday for us.
Oh, okay. So like pretty prime time US East and very prime time US West.
9
hours. Yeah, 9 hours from now is 9 p.m. for us.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, around then is when the stream should start, and it'll go for like 8 hours. So
cool. All right. So it'll be hard for me to watch most of it, but I'll catch the beginning for sure.
Yeah. It'll be good.
Just not very prime time EU, but hey, we all can't live in the
Sorry
future
for living
like
in
Croncy.
Australia.
Yeah. So all right, but yeah, hit the socials. We really appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you guys next week, and don't forget.
Answer the call.
Yeah. Do that, okay? I have to hit a button, but I have to find it. So there it is.
I think that's our worst outro ever.
No, that's the best. They love when you fail. Everybody loves failure. They don't like success